तब कथामृतं तप्त जीवनं कविभिडीडितं कल्मषापहं श्रवणमंगलं श्रीमदाततं भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः. Let us resume our discussion on Sri Ramakrishna's spiritual discourses with his intimate devotees at Shampukur House on 18th October 1885. It is recorded in the third volume of the original Bengali presentation, Sri Sri Ramakrishna Kathamrita, 324, third volume, 20th chapter and 4th section. It was the day of Vijaya Dashimi, that is the ultimate day of the Durga Puja of that year. Sri Ramakrishna was brought to Shampukur in North Kolkata for the convenience of his throat treatment. So the doctors could visit him more frequently and the devotees also could serve him more conveniently. This appears in the 4th chapter of section 122 in the second volume of the Hindi translation, Sri Sri Ramakrishna Vachanamrit, and under chapter 45 of the chronologically presented English rendering, the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Now we have been discussing here about the great debate which was going on between Girish Chandra Ghosh and Dr. Mahendralal Sarkar. Dr. Mahendralal Sarkar was a scientific bent mind. He would not accept which is not as per the reason. So he figured out that God being infinity, he cannot be condensed in a finite human form, which is told as the incarnation of God. The devotees on the other hand, they feel that the incarnation of God is no other than the ultimate Parabrahma. Purna Brahma Paratpara Ram. Ram is the Purna Brahma. There is no difference. Same ultimate reality has condensed himself in the form of Ramchandra as the incarnation of God. That the devotees think. And it was being supported by Girish Chandra Ghosh and other intimate devotees of Sri Ramakrishna. Whereas on the other, Dr. Mahendralal Sarkar and others, they figured out that this is infeasible. The infinity cannot be equated with finite. A person which is a limited being, a limited human form. So when this talk was going on, then Sri Ramakrishna commented that all these are useless talk. It is like the ravings of a delirious patient. A delirious patient says so many things that I will eat a whole pot of rice, I will drink a whole tank of water, and the physician says, he doesn't object, he says, yes, whatever you are saying, be done. First of all, you be cured. After cured, whatever you say, it will be given, not at the moment. So similarly, till we realize God, we have so many things about Him. So when we realize God, there are perception changes. Before that, there is a lot of quarrel and debate. We know the story that in the village there was a great debate whether Shiva is greater or Vishnu is greater. Shiv बड़ा है या विष्णु बड़ा है, महाविरोध उपस्थान हुआ. There was a big debate, a big conference was held. Everyone was called to give their opinion. Who is superior? The Shaivites went on saying that Shiva is greater, the greatest, and the Vaishnavas says no, Vishnu is greatest. Then there is a man of wit, wisdom, Padma Lochan. Sri Ramakrishna said this story. He was called to decide on the matter. He said, neither me nor my 14 generations above has seen neither Vishnu nor Shiva. So how can we say that is those who are debating and quarreling, have they seen God? This is the point, that when we have no direct perception of God, then we cannot decide. This is why in the Upanishads it has been said, Naisha tarkena matirapaneya. This cannot be established by तर्क विचार का चीज़ नहीं है. ईश्वर कोई तर्क विचार का विचार नहीं है, ईश्वर अनुभूति का विषय है. Religion is not a bunch of theories, talks, debates and disputes. Religion is realization. अनुभूति का नाम ही अध्यात्म विद्या है, धर्म है. Normally by religion we think it is a doctrine, it's a dogma, it's a philosophy, a matter to be discussed and debated. No. The books can only point out to you a faint idea of the ultimate reality, which has to be understood through direct realization. Till then we are simply patients of that disease that has been said. Until then, there will be a lot of quarrel and disputes. Sri Ramakrishna gives another example here. He says, when butter is heated, it sizzles and crackles, but all sound comes to an end when it is thoroughly boiled. As a man's mind, so is his conception. The man wants to conceptualize God as per his mental makeup. Sri Ramakrishna says here, I have seen in a rich man's house portraits in the queen and other aristocrats, but the devotees keep in their house pictures of gods and goddesses. So as a man's projection, likings, he projects his liking accordingly all around. So when a person wants to see God as formless, he visualizes God as formless. A person who wants to see God with form, he visualizes with form. It cannot be established by debate. But when you see God, as Sri Ramakrishna says, when you realize God, then you find it is both with form and without form, and he has many other projections. So this matter cannot be established with debate, discussion, and the detailed deliberations. It has to be settled with personal realization. That's what Sri Ramakrishna is repeatedly telling. Most of us feel that religion is to be studied and discussed about, debated about. No. By debate it cannot be resolved. It has to be resolved with reality, because God is something beyond the reach of our mind. Mind has a reach, but God is Vakya Manatita. He is residing somewhere which is not approachable by our speech and mind. So if we want to explain or limit God with our speech and mind, we are truncating him. We are limiting his personality. We are bringing him down to our limited domain. God is beyond that. The God which is infinity, beyond the reach of our body and our speech and word, speech and mind, cannot be fully comprehended within the scope of our mind and speech. Whatever we say, we have a limit. The Vani has a limit, mind has a limit. Within this limited compass of mind and speech, we cannot portray the unlimited God. So in order to realize the unlimited God, you have to transcend our body and mind and speech. Then only we can understand, but you cannot explain. Coming back here, when you go there, we can realize. But we cannot explain. That's why it is called Brahma Anuchishta. Brahma cannot be explained. Because as soon as we try to explain, it is within the domain of your speech and mind, limited domain. So indeed, within this limited domain, he cannot explain which is beyond this domain, which is Vakya Manatita. So this has to be very clearly understood, that religion is not a matter for discussion and debate. It is a matter of realization. It has to be realized individually and then compare notes with others. There are many people who have realized God, they have given their note, they have given their descriptions, and we'll be able to appreciate those descriptions when we are able to realize God in the same way. So strive to realize God in our personal life in order to authenticate whatever has been said about God in the scriptures. It has to be mapped by our own personal realizations. That is called religion. Religion is realization, and it should be compared the notes with the scriptures, because there have been many seers and sages in the past. They are given their descriptions. So that has to be mapped without discussion and doubt. How it happened, we do not know, but it happened. It's been recorded. It has to be authenticated by our personal direct experiences. Till then, the domain of duality is another point Sri Ramakrishna says. Lakshmana said, O Rama, even a sage like Vasishtha was overcome with grief on account of the death of his son. Now Guru Vasishtha का पुत्र शोक हुआ था. He lost his son. He became totally upset. Seeing that, Lakshmana was in deep confusion. Because Guru Vasishtha was Jnani. Mind is always settled, supposed to be settled with God. Now when he lost his son, he became totally unsettled, which happens. If a person loses his son, naturally he will be upset. But it was not becoming of Guru Vasishtha because he was a Jnani. Jnani means knower of Brahman. So that created confusion in Lakshmana's mind. He asked his question to his elder brother, Rama. लक्ष्मण ने कहा था, हे राम, वशिष्ठ देव जैसे पुरुष को भी पुत्रों का शोक हो रहा है. How is it possible? Because after being a jnani, knowledge of Brahman, he should go beyond these pairs of pleasure and pain, this sorrow and joy. But how he succumbed to sorrow at the moment? He should know that everything is divine. Now, what was the reply of Rama? Rama replied, brother, whoever has knowledge has ignorance also. Whoever is conscious of light is also conscious of darkness. Therefore, go beyond knowledge and ignorance. One attains the state through an intimate knowledge of God. This knowledge is called Vijnana. It's a wonderful thought Rama has given to Lakshmana. जब लक्ष्मण ने पूछा कि गुरु वशिष्ठ देव का पुत्र शोक क्यों हो रहा है, तब राम ने उत्तर दिया, भाई, जिसमें ज्ञान है उसमें अज्ञान भी है. जिसे उजाले का ज्ञान है उसे अंधेरा का भी ज्ञान है. इसलिए ज्ञान और अज्ञान से परे हो जाओ. ईश्वर को विशेष रूप से जान लेने पर यह अवस्था प्राप्त हो जाता है. इसे ही विज्ञान कहते हैं. Now there is one agyan, ignorance. We do not know. How do you remove the ignorance? By jnana, by knowledge. So we are commonly say the light of knowledge dispels the darkness of ignorance. अज्ञान हटाने के लिए ज्ञान का रोशनी का जरूरत है, हम उसे मानते हैं. फिर यहाँ पर कहा जा रहा है कि सिर्फ ज्ञान और अज्ञान से नहीं होगा, ज्ञान अज्ञान को पारे जाना पड़ेगा. What is the state going beyond this knowledge and ignorance? But there is a state which transcends both knowledge and ignorance, and that is called Vijnana. So this Vijnana is Vishesh Rup se Jana, special knowledge about God. And that is the goal of life. Our goal is not to become Jnani, our goal is to become Vijnani. What is the difference? See, there is a chapter in the Bhagavad Gita, Jnana Vijnana Yoga. What is Jnana, what is Vijnana? It is said there, Shastrartha Jnanam Jnanam. To know about the truth of God, truth of the scriptures, to get a knowledge is called Jnana. That we all do. We study books, we attend lectures, we prepare notes, and we learn. Process of learning is acquisition of knowledge. That is called knowledge. Shastrartha Jnanam Jnanam. Then what is Vijnanam? Tat swa anubhuta karmanam Vijnanam. Whatever we learn, when we make it our own realization, own experience, that is called Vijnana. Sri Ramakrishna gives an example. He says that to know about milk is jnana. First of all, you do not know what milk is. When you study, when you see milk from a distance, you see that milk is a white liquid. It has such properties, physical property, chemical property different from water, its benefits, and the usage, everything when is data, collection of data, that is called knowledge, jnanam. Shastrartha jnanam jnanam. So whatever knowledge is available about milk, you acquire that and you become jnani. Then our Vigyan, Tatso Anubhuta Karanam. When someone drinks the milk and derives the nourishment, then only his knowledge about milk is complete. Not only theoretical, theoretically knows now what is its specific gravity, what is viscosity, what is the chemical, physical property, he has mastered. But when he drinks the milk and derives nourishment, then only he has a full knowledge about milk. That is called Vijnani. Vijnani means the person who has realized the reality once for all. Then all the problems cease, all the doubts vanish, and we are directly in threshold of realization. Sri Ramakrishna is inviting all of us to participate in this process and become Vijnani. Or else, we can be as high as Jnani as Vashishtadev, but still we will be falling short, failing to face the realities of life. So when we become Vijnani, when we realize God, what difference it makes? What happens? What is the change? How will you know that you have realized God? There are two symptoms, two Lakshmana. One, in the Bhagavad Gita it is said, कि by getting which everything becomes insipid, the maximum, and by getting which you are not disturbed by any disturbance of life. By getting which everything becomes complete. You do not have any other the desire. Your all desire is fulfilled. You do not have any shortage. You have got the complete satisfaction. Jasmin sthito nadukkena gurunapi vichalati tang vidya dukkha samyoga vyagam swanishchayana yoktavya yoga anirvinna chetasa. जो जंग प्राप्य नान्यते अधिकम मतः. Whatever we get, we still have some hankering, desire left. Whatever we get, we are not satiated. We are not full. But when we realize God, everything becomes full. Jam labdhva puman amrito bhavati, stabdo bhavati, tripto bhavati. Become full. We say that nothing else is needed. Everyone, when we see, when we realize when we experience some joy in life, we appreciate. But we are not fully satiated. We want something more. Always any enjoyment in life gives a place for higher enjoyment, more pleasure, deeper enjoyment. But if you get to one experience where you have no more any desire for anything more, you are satiated. Jam labdhva chaparam labham manyate nadikam tataha. जम लब्ध्वा, जिसको प्राप्त होने पर, च अपरम लाभम, और दूसरा कोई लाभ इससे अधिक होगा, ये नहीं मतलब। आई बिकम फुल्ली सेटिस्फाइड, जो प्राप्त करने के बाद मेरा पूरा तृप्त हो जाता है, ये फर्स्ट कंडीशन, आई बिकम फुल। जम लब्ध्वा च अपरम लाभम मन्यते नादिकम तथा, आई नो आई फुल, आई डू नॉट वांट एनीथिंग एल्स, satiated, number one. Secondly, jasmin sthito na dukkhena guruna api vichalyate, by getting which you are not disturbed by any miseries of the world. Your mind is pitched in such a high altitude beyond this domain of this world, so any worldly trials and tribulations and misery do not disturb you anymore. Like Guru Vasishtha. Guru Vasishtha was disturbed by the death of his son. He is disturbed. But when a person is established in jnana, in the knowledge of God, he cannot be disturbed anymore. He is fixed, he is always full. So that is the goal of life. So nischayana yuktabhyo, yoga nirbinna chetasa. That has to be attained. So Sri Ramakrishna is inviting us to attain to that stage which is called Vijnana. Tat sa anubhuta karanam. That Gyan has to be digested, realized. It is not enough to know about milk. Milk has to be drunk and the nourishment derived. दूध पीकर उसमें जो पुष्टि जब हम लेते हैं, तभी दूध के बारे में हमारा जानना संपूर्ण होता है। दूध के बारे में जानना ज्ञान है, दूध पीकर उससे पुष्टि ग्रहण करना विज्ञान है। वी आर हियर टू बिकम विज्ञानी, वी आर हियर टू रियलाइज गॉड, नॉट टू नो अबाउट हिम। Knowing is knowledge, but we must aspire to become Vijnani by realization of God. Religion is realization, Swami Vivekananda says. Not a bunch of debates and disputes. Study. Study points out to God, but God has to be realized in our life, and for that we must strive to do that. That is the goal of life. We will discuss further in our next Sunday class. निरंजनम नित्यम अनंत रूपम भक्तानुकंपाधित विग्रहम वै ईशावतारम परमेशमिड्यम तम रामकृष्णं शिरसा नमामः। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम तत्सत्। Shri Ramakrishnaarpanamastu. If you have any question, you can send me over email. We close now with the chanting of the Lord. Please join with me. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Thank you.